Welcome to another episode of the Coffee Conversation Show, powered by the Emerging India Forum, TIF, and our tech partner, Prime Infotech Solution. Today's series is the Emerging CyberSec Professional, and theme is Building a Secure Future, Cybersecurity Leadership Unveiled. We have with us speaker Dr. Hemant Nagesh Dusaane, co-founder at Invent on US. He's also a keynote speaker and he has a expertise spans customer engagement, cybersecurity, cutting edge technologies like AI, RPA, which leverages to drive digital transformation. So, friends, from we have a speaker who has various interests, and it will be a lovely conversation on cybersecurity, other domains, and to know him, his interest in other topics. So, Hemant, welcome to today's coffee conversation on a Saturday evening. It will be
Thank
a
you so much.
conversation we will have, and just wanted to explain you the format. It's in
Yes.
3 rounds. Two rounds
Okay.
are the professional, personal, and there is a rapid fire round.
Okay.
For that, you will win this book. Is your organization cyber healthy? I'm an author of 13 books, which will be autographed and delivered to your address. So
Thank
go
you.
through that.
Yeah,
So
sure.
friends, once again, welcome to today's coffee conversation, Hemant. So we are all set.
Yes. Thank you so much, Amir.
Okay. So friends, I'm Ryan Amir Virani over here, your host for Coffee Conversation and a legal tech evangelist. So my first question for you, Hemant, in your professional journey round is, tell us something about your journey in the domain of cyber security from start till date.
Okay. So, I have been interested into tech and the new trends in the tech since my college days. So, it's more focused around how I founded my company and how I built this kind of a small organization, which now kind of a growing. So, I was raised in a middle class family in northern Maharashtrian region, and my grandfather was a goldsmith. He always pushed my dad to have certain kind of a government job where he was more forcing that doing something on your own versus having a government job, if you know the earlier era, was much better. So my dad took a government job, but somehow he was not happy with that because he wanted to do something on his own, and he did a couple of smaller gigs, and I saw his struggle and kind of a success what he had in his smaller gigs, and that was kind of inspiring me since my childhood. And then all of his journey was continuously inspiring me, pushing me to start my own gig. Technology has always been interesting subject for me, and I am always curious to learn new things. Even today, I mean, before this talk, I was reading something that what is happening in the domain for sure. So, uh, in my engineering college day, I used to research about new techs and technologies, and ultimately, I ended up by giving suggestions and ultimately selling laptops and mobile phones to my friends and individuals who used to come to me. So that was a kind of a side hustle I started. But then I also went through small tough time in my college because I had a facial paralysis. So I had to take a break medically, mentally. I have to come out of it and understand what I can do in this domain. So I was fortunate enough to get a first job opportunity from my college into a same domain, cybersecurity domain, and that's where I started my journey. So that is a point where I realized that cybersecurity is very important in any era. It's not just today's era or past era, future. It's a must for everyone, and it's important to grow the career into this. So I was trying to find out such opportunities, and somehow one of my colleague and my now as a best friend who had started his own career or let's say a smaller venture on his own was inviting me to joining. Let's join together and do something. So I left my job in 2019, put down my papers, and took a break of 1 or 2 months, and then we co-founded this company called Invent on Us. And to all my surprise, our first customer, as I said earlier, my dad was more focused on doing business. Is brought by my dad. It's an Australian customer. It's still with us, and that customer has been helping us to build our organization. Has been very significantly contributing to our revenue. More than 60% revenue comes from that customer. So it's very I can say very important for us to focus on growing the business and getting leads and getting support from my family.
Um, so now, tell us something about this name, Invent on Us. How did this name come up, and what are the what are the different products which you are focusing under Invent on Us in this company?
Okay. So Invent Honest name, as I said earlier, Ketan, who is my colleague and now a partner with this company, we were discussing about what name we can come up in this domain. So most of the people think about whether they're starting a cybersecurity company, they will put up some name which is relevant to cybersecurity only, not broader term or not focused on inventing something new in this domain. So that's the primary motivation. Definitely, we wanted to have some name which is more catchy, more interesting to people, and then it comes in their mind whenever they think about building anything into cybersecurity. So that's the thought behind it.
Wow. So, being a co-founder, what are the work responsibilities of a co-founder are, and how do you handle them? So this will help us. My question will be, by anyone who's entering in this domain of cybersecurity, forming his company
Okay.
from scratch and scaling up. So as you have been in this, so that we, your insights will help these professionals.
Sure.
So,
So when I started my journey in cybersecurity, I was sitting on the other side of the table, more like interacting with the vendors and their management, handling day-to-day operations, managing interactions, and then getting things done within the organization. But I also realized that while interacting with those vendors, that this domain is very challenging, and being a CEO or like a CGO of this kind of a domain is very interesting journey. So being a CEO is a tough task because you are the last person in the chain of command. And if anything which comes to you as an escalation, if it is not resolved in a manner where your customer and your team member are not happy, then you're actually not uh, driving that organization towards the success. So anyone who wants to enter into this domain has to have an understanding about how to manage the overall execution of the project, interactions with the customer, handling the teams as a management skill or a team building skill, you can say that. And yes, I mean, uh, getting that title as a CEO is just not important, but having that responsibility to ensure that the organization is not only running smooth in terms of delivery and operations, but also expanding its horizon or reach towards mutual interests of your customers, employees, stakeholders, and your investors.
wow, very well put. So now, Hemant, how do you approach risk management in a rapidly evolving digital landscape?
This is interesting question. So the digital landscape is characterized by a constant change, driven by technology advancement, shifting customer behaviors, and emerging new threats. So to effectively manage risk in this dynamic environment, I believe organization must adopt a proactive, adaptive, and holistic approach towards mitigating or maybe handling the overall risk. So, for example, like the approach can be like such as cultivating a risk-aware culture, like empowering their employees, promote open communications. Then they can have integration of the risk into decision making within their organization. Then the organization should invest into cybersecurity and leveraging new technologies such as AI in parallel to building their business empire. Because a lot of people think that cybersecurity comes after everything is built. But if they do it together, it's going to benefit ultimately to their business. Also, fostering strong relationship with or a partnership with industry peers, regulatory bodies, and ultimately cyber expert is need of an hour.
Wow. So now, Hemant, this new privacy law will be coming into effect. So what changes should a cybersecurity professional bring in his strategy vis-a-vis the company adopts to this new act coming in?
Okay, so I believe this like one of the key aspect of security is protecting the information, ultimately the data. So data privacy has been one of the key driving factor for our industry, and data privacy laws are making sure that everyone follows it. So it's not just that the law came today and everyone has to follow from today. It has been there. Maybe it was not consolidated or not structured in a way that it is understood by everyone, but today, yes, it is there. And for us, it is a focus area to define our business strategy being into this domain because it's very important to protect information and ultimately data and the privacy of those individuals while building a new customer relationship and delivering any projects. So if anyone wants to drive their business strategy into cybersecurity, they have to definitely integrate data privacy in requirements or understanding for themselves as well as for their business.
Wow. So now let's discuss a particular challenging cybersecurity incident you have handled in your career.
Honestly, the answer is I cannot disclose anything because of non-disclosure I've signed with all the organization. But in general, I mean, I can
Yeah.
summarize in a very shorter manner that cybersecurity incident, whichever I have seen in my life, are always crucial to the organization because it was always impacting the organization financials, their image, reputation. So handling such incident in the organization, being an operational person, is very crucial task, and it also needs support from all the pillars of the organization, like the management, also the team support, who are involved into resolving it. So if there's an incident, for example, of a data leak in the organization, maybe an organizational internal communication has been leaked out of the organization, then how the corporate communication team is responding to that also is important for us because we are giving that input to them that what are the things they can disclose and can undisclose out of it.
Wow. So now, Hemant, what are the key points to be considered while implementing ISO 27001 and other standards?
So ISO 27001, it's called as a base of information security. It's like information security management system standard. And any standard related to information security is based on a baseline of the particular standard. So uh, implementing a standard is a very important aspect when the organization take up that as a project. The first step here is more like how the management is committed towards delivering the project within the organization, and more talking from the customer perspective. So their commitment is important in terms of whether they want to really practice cybersecurity within their organization or just to get the certification so that they can show it as a marketing paper to their customers. So that's a difference. So that's the first key point. So we have, I mean, I've been implementing ISO for more than last 12, 13 years, more than that. And more than 150 customer I have handled in different scenarios for ISO 27001. So I can generalize in a way that if there's a management commitment for implementing cybersecurity in your organization, then the overall implementation of ISO becomes very smooth because the top-down approach that the management is committed towards the execution, ultimately the team start executing easily.
Yeah. So now, Hemant, how do you ensure your team stays updated with latest trends and threats in cybersecurity?
Oh, that's that's interesting question. So, team is always focused on what they want to deliver because there's a pressure of delivery to them. But what we do is that we definitely ensure that team is going through latest news and trends happening in this domain. Then how they are ensuring themselves up to date with the latest certifications in this domain. So it's very interesting task for all of us to stay up to date with the latest trends and threats in cybersecurity. So not just reading news or articles, blogs are going to help them, but also going through an adoption of new cybersecurity certification, and then having a hands-on experience is important. So what we do is that we make sure that every team member is goes through the cycle of updating themselves and having an hands-on experience in that particular execution of the project with one of our customers.
Wow. So, uh, Hemant, the journey as a keynote speaker, how did it come about and what are your experiences?
Okay. So, I mean, I think so this started around 2015, 2016. So when I got promoted as one of the leadership person in my last organization before I started this company, I uh, have been more interested learning about overall enterprise risk management and more of focus of delivering something to the community. So I started reaching out to different forums and trying to understand how they deliver this kind of a scenario. So I started participating as delegates, interacting with those professionals and understanding it. And ultimately, in one of the forum I got an opportunity to talk as a speaker. That's where I started a journey as a speaker. And then I had so much interest into this risk management domain that I started teaching as a subject to a lot of MBA colleges within Pune and online to different people. Uh, so this whole journey of starting as a delegate and then a speaker and then let's say giving guest lectures or syllabus or something to students and ultimately learning the domain knowledge is helping me to become a keynote speaker because the more I talk about it, I am also learning from the person who is listening, but they ask more question and interaction happen. So that's helping me to become a keynote speaker so far.
Wow. So, Hemant, you have been on the both sides, working under someone and now leading an organization. So, what are the skills which are required to be a leader, according to you?
To be a leader, definitely you have to have a balance of your life. That's first of all, because if you don't have that peace of your mind, you cannot lead anything. So that's most important for sure. Uh, the other common factor, definitely, we all know that you should have a team building capability, communication, strategy, handling, everything. But I think so beyond that, the organizational skill, strategic thinking, and effective time management is very important. So I'm still learning to meet all my responsibility. And probably my peers will be the right people to give the feedback whether I'm able to meet their expectation or not. But to be a leader, it's not a fix like a job or a timeline that okay, you do these 10 things and you are a leader. It's a continuous journey which you have to evolve and learn things and improve yourself every day.
Wow. So, Hemant, according to you, you have worked with, interacted with students, with cybersecurity professionals over the years. So, what are the most critical skills required for professionals entering into the field of cybersecurity today?
Okay, I can suggest that they can definitely start reading about it because reading is something is going to help them that what is happening in this domain. But beyond that, I think so having certain in-depth knowledge and hands-on experience around it is going to help. So probably reading certain books like The Art of Deception or the certain guide for insider threats, it's going to help. But cybersecurity is a vast field, so I would recommend to focus on building a strong foundation and then specialize into certain areas because it has multiple smaller areas where they can be a specialized person, whichever interests individuals those are having it.
Wow. So now, okay, what are your plans for your invent on us for 5 years, where you want to see your company in 5 year journey?
So, when we started this company, we always had a focus of building a product because having a service-based company is definitely is going to achieve certain operational goals. But if you build a product, you are also delivering that knowledge to different customers and community. So we had a thought about starting building that product, and we started working on it. Now, where we stand is that that product has been mature enough to utilize for all of our customers and and ultimately our team members. So for next 5 years, I can say that we definitely want to achieve a target where we become a successful product-based company. Maybe we get a good investment or a good exit out of it, but Invent on us is definitely is going to be a product-based company in next 5 years.
Okay. So let's go to the next round and understand him as a person. Who is the biggest supporter from your family, Hemant?
I cannot name one here because there are so many. I mean, as I said, my father is always supporting me in terms of bringing leads for my business. My wife is kind of a mentor to me because whenever I stuck with a problem, I just discuss with her casually, and she gives me a different perspective to it. And then I said, okay, I can now resolve this problem. My other family members definitely make sure that I'm happy, relaxed, calm, get things what I need on time. So everyone is helping me. My friends are helping me. My colleagues, partners are helping me. Everyone is helping me to be relaxed and deliver things what I can.
Wow. So now let's go down memory lane. Let's go back to your college days. What memories do you have of your college life?
No. So in my college, I mean, the one of the memory I can share here is that I was always curious into learning into tech domain, and in my first year of engineering college, I used to read a newspaper about is there any conference or any, because no, those days the internet was not so much used for identifying any conferences anywhere, and online conferences was not an option those days. So in the newspaper there was a, I mean, in Pune where I am staying here, I was studying earlier. There was a college of engineering, Pune, government college, and near that there was a local institute of engineers where they used to arrange a lot of conferences on the tech topics. And there I learned about telecommunication because I was doing telecommunication engineering. So I learned about telecommunication practices, satellite communication, and CDMA communication. And I was so interested that I wanted to prepare a paper and present it at a state level. So somehow I got that opportunity through my college, and I was able to prepare and present a state level paper presentation on the CDMA and the security topics around it.
Wow. So now, Hemant, what role do your friends play in your life and how do you keep in touch with them?
Friends, my friends provide support, companionship, and sense of belonging. That's most important for me. They offer opportunities for shared experiences, emotional support for sure, and definitely personal growth. So I keep in touch with them, either meeting them in person whenever possible, or at least giving a call and chatting over a phone that what's happening in their domain or what are they doing in their personal life, and share my experience or what I'm doing in my life.
Wow. So what are some of your favorite activities you do with your family on weekends, Hemant?
I prefer to cook delicious food for them. Yeah, I mean, I my one of my hobbies is cooking. I love to travel as well, so I prefer to cook some delicious food, whichever one of them is like, and then I enjoy with them. So that's the quality time I spend with them on weekend.
Wow. So, which is your favorite dish which you like to prepare and eat? And what?
Chicken curry, I love to prepare chicken curry, and everyone likes it here. So yeah.
Wow. And your you said you like to travel. So from your travel places, which is a place which you like to share with us and your memories from that place?
Okay, so we went to, I mean, one of the memory I have from the journey was to Andaman and Nicobar. So me and my wife went to Andaman and Nicobar, and that was, this trip was completed just 2 days before COVID lockdown happened. So while traveling, I was continuously monitoring the news and the situation, but I was also enjoying with my wife and family that all the, I mean, Andaman is an amazing place. Everyone should visit, must visit. Uh, we were lucky enough to meet Mr. Rashid, who is the Prince of Nicobar, and we were able to stay in one of his properties. So he was a very kind person. We had enough discussion on various business opportunities because he was also running a lot of businesses locally there. And he said that let's explore together. So still now we have not done any collaboration, but we are though in contact right now and still discussing what strategy we can build to mutually benefit, also to benefit people of Andaman and Nicobar.
Wow, that's so. From your bucket list, what would like to do in 2024?
Bucket list, that's a big one. In 2024, we want to launch the product what we have created within our company, what we are utilizing for all of our customers. And probably end of this year, we want to scale up to a size where we move to a bigger office. That's the shortest bucket list I can say in professional. Personally, yes, I travel every 6 months. Every 6 months, I make sure that 15 days I travel within India or outside India whenever possible. So, in December, I will plan some journey and I'll probably see what I can experience in that journey.
Okay. So, which places have you visited in India?
Uh, Almost all south of India, west of India. It's only northeast places pending, probably. I'd been to Ladakh twice, all the areas of Ladakh. I mean, every end of Ladakh, I'd been to border as well. I'd been to Rajasthan border. I'd been to Gujarat. I travel within Maharashtra a lot. I travel to South India. So, yeah, Northeast is the only pending place within India I can travel now.
So, from your traveling to different places, so which place has left a mark on you with the culture, with the food, everything?
Every place. I mean, recently I traveled for a month in UK and I did like you have in India, you have Jammu to Kanyakumari. Similar, I did the entire UK. I rent a car and went throughout all the UK. So every place and every journey will give you an experience about the local place, the food and everything. So I cannot name only one because, as I said, every place has an impact on my life and gave me an experience at what I can learn from them. So, like I was in Kolkata for almost a month, and there I learned that how people can live on their own with a minimum available resources or whatever available resources, and the journey what they have in their life is very important for them. So that's the one part of it. Other part, as I said, in UK I was there, I saw that how people are very helpful in terms of if you need any help from them, even understanding things around it, they will make sure that you understand to the point that you're happy and satisfied and you give that feedback to them. So every place has that learning and probably an experience sharing journey for me.
Wow. So, any hobbies or interest you have continued from your childhood, or you have developed something new over the
Traveling is something I've been continuing since my childhood. So my dad is also used to travel a lot and he used to take us along with him. So we as a family we traveled a lot earlier. So I've been continuing that hobby and I also make sure that my wife and my kid are also following. So since my kid is 5 months old, we have been traveling every 6 months in a car or wherever possible.
Okay. So, as an avid traveler, what are the things which you have to plan and keep in mind making a trip? Because you're every 6 months you're going on a trip. So,
Don't plan. Don't plan. It has to be unplanned experience. Like in last year, December, we started our journey from Pune towards south of India. No plan, no booking. And we started on 20th of December, just before Christmas. No booking even for the stay. Me, my wife, and my kid in a car. We
wow,
enjoyed the whole journey in a way that, I mean, no, even no places decided. We started from here, we went to Belgaum, then we went to, I forgot the name, Dandeli forest, and then we went towards Karwar, Udupi, and then we came back, came to Goa, and then so all the places where we went, there was no booking we did. We didn't plan the journey. We just said that we want to spend 15 days on the road. Let's see what happens.
super, super. That's these. are the lifetime memories which you are building up and for yourself, for your wife, and for your kid. So marvelous, marvelous. Okay. So now, anything from you're into travel. Your product launch will be happening. Any other wish list which you want to do in a 3 years timeline?
So in next 3 years, I want to contribute more towards the community because of COVID, it has been reduced, not stopped completely, but it has been reduced. I was not able to openly contribute and meet people and at least share what I have learned. So that I want to start again. So probably this is one of the session is helping me. And yeah, in next 3 years, I want to reach at least the two more territories which are pending for our company. So we have been established in all the continents across the globe. Only the Russian, Latin America is pending. It's more of a language barrier we have. Otherwise, we can get customers there. So probably that's the target we have for next year.
Wow. So my last question will be describe Hemant in one line.
Traveler, foodie, learner, taker and giver.
Wow, super, super. So now we go to the rapid fire, the fun round.
Yes.
You are an early bird or a night person?
Night person.
Okay. Tea or coffee?
Nothing. But I would
You
prefer
guys
coffee
didn't
over
know.
the tea. Yeah. I would prefer coffee over a tea.
Okay. Last book you read?
Uh, I don't remember.
Okay.
I read more on the articles and news. Book, I mean, it's been a time I have stopped reading. Yeah.
Okay. Your go-to tech tools.
Go to tech tool, Google.
Okay. Uh, your go-to snack during work.
Go to kitchen, prepare something I like, and then eat it.
Okay. Uh,
Or order a biryani if I'm in office or somewhere else.
wow. Okay. One advice or one line you have received which has impacted you in your life.
There's a story behind it. If we have a time, I want to talk about it.
Please go.
Okay. So, as I was talking more on that attending conferences in my college days to that local institute of engineers, there was one person who came from US and he was the author of a telecommunication book. So I wanted to interact with him, and then somehow I came to know that he's friend of my college principal. So when I went for that conference to understand or learn from him, I also realized that I can meet him also. So I requested my principal that I want to meet him and talk to him and ask him one question about something which I'm curious about it. So he said, yes, go ahead. So when I met him, my question was around. So normally when I read, I don't read about the book started by the topics or let's say the author, but I started with the author name, what he did, and what experience that person has or the education that person has. So that author did a bachelor's in mechanical, master's in finance, like an MBA, and he has been author for a telecommunication book for last 30 years. So my question was around that how he is able to transform himself from a mechanical engineer or an MBA person to a telecommunication author. So that line has helped me and still helping me to grow in my career. That he said that if you want to survive and flourish, so he focused more on the flourish part. If you want to survive and flourish in your life, you have to be flexible enough to do anything. So that made me so inspired to do anything that I've explored almost all domains in my life and then realized that I can work well, whichever way I can.
Wow, wow, beautifully, beautiful. So you get to win this book.
Okay. Thank you so
The
much.
autograph. Please go through and share your inputs. So, friends, we had a lovely conversation we had with Dr. Hemant. He is a gem of a person. His interests are what do you say, creative in cooking, in travel, like unplanned trips, so many things. He is a gem of a person, has shifted from working with someone and formed his own company, co-founder, and we wish the very best for his vision in the field of cybersecurity. Do watch this episode. You will get a lot of insights of being a co-founder on a tech cybersecurity company. And we have around 180 plus episodes on the Coffee Conversation Show. Do subscribe and enjoy your weekend. We meet again to have another conversation with Dr. Hemant to understand more on his being a chef. So,
Yes.
thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Amir.